Hey, here I am. I'm back. Can you believe it? I came back. Javi's back there too. You want to say something, Javi, to prove it?
Hello.
Hello, she's back there. This time, it's going to be all about the love of trashy jewelry. Busted bling and trashy jewelry. We love our trashy jewelry. That's what makes us live and breathe. What we can find that's broken, that we can make into something that's all around. And let's face it, it's probably not high fashion. And it certainly isn't something that you find in a department store. But it makes our hearts go pitty pat. And it makes us want to make more and more and more. And every time I make some, it makes me understand why I live and breathe jewelry. Because I love making trashy jewelry. I put this picture on Facebook and everybody was all over it. I said, okay, in about a half an hour, Javi and I are going to make a trashy jewelry video. And everybody's like, oh, wow, I can't wait. So here we are. I have lipstick on my teeth. I got a mirror over there to check. You know, old ladies, they have lipstick on their teeth. Anyway, she's got this big light ring here. I'm going to see halos for 2 hours afterwards. So why don't I just shut up? Y'all come over here. I'm going to take my trashy jewelry off, which I'm making, which I hate to say it. Is it sacrilege? But this is 1928 busted bling. Mr. Bernie's probably going to roll his eyes back in his head. I don't know if I dare to even show him this video. But I'm going to take this off. In fact, I'm going to show you real quick before we go over here how this thing comes off. Alrighty. I got a little tiny bitty lobster claw clasp here. This is a Lariat, by the way, guys. Comes off here. Woohoo! It's all one big line. Can't even get it all in the shot. Okay, so y'all come over here and I'll show you what I did. Okay? Okay, so here we are with the trashy necklace. Actually, I think it's quite beautiful. It's just made with a lot of things that are leftovers. It's not trash, not really. We just say that in jest. And it really is quite special because there are some very special parts on here. Here's a wonderful magnifying glass that part of a necklace I think cost 55, 60 bucks. I got it because it was in the broken jewelry. Mr. Bernie saves up some of the broken jewelry and he sells it to me. And I share it with my people on Facebook. You can buy it from me from time to time when I have some. And I get a little of it. I try not to cherry pick it because that's not fair. But over the years, I've been getting it from him for about 2 years. So over the years, I have pulled out a few little cuties for myself and then other things I've bought here and there along the way. So I have a kind of a sweet collection of nice little things. You know, being in the supply business, I would, right? But anyway, this is a 1928 magnifying glass. That's kind of sweet. These we have on the site right now. This rhinestone heart, it says Grace, which I think is kind of quaint. This was in the broken jewelry. It was a broken 1928 necklace. This is Stardust chain right here. We had some scraps and bits and pieces and some manufacturer's overruns that we bought. It's wonderful stuff. We're not going to have that again. And I don't have any to sell you, so you guys can just drool. This is opal white chain. And we have been getting more of this hand-wrapped beaded chain. So stay with us and check the site often because we have it. And when we get it in, it does not last. There's just a lot of really cool chain in here. Doing these necklaces is a really good way to use up chain scraps and bits of beads because you can like rosary bead or gypsy bead and make your own chain too. You can get your what's that thing called? We sell them. The looper tool. Take your stray chain and take your stray beads out and loop your own rosary chain. It won't come out, wrapped or anything like that, but you can make really nice chain, use up a whole mess of beads and make some fantastic looking chain, and it won't cost you hardly anything. So anyway, let's get to the measurements on here, and I'll tell you some little tips and tricks that I found out when I made this. So I've got a little tiny black lobster claw clasp here, and that's how I keep it pulled together instead of like flipping it over like you do with most Lariat necklaces. Did you know that they call Lariat necklaces a negligee necklace? That's an old-fashioned term from the vintage and negligee. But we call them Lariats. You said negligee, people will think of something else. Anyway, but let's get some measurements on this. And also, if you go back in my videos, you will find another video that I made about 5 years ago on how to make a lariat, and there are measurements in that one too, so you may get some ideas from that as well. Oh man, I wish I'd brought a bottle of water down. I put some cologne on and I think I'm allergic to it. Maybe I'm allergic to Javi. Maybe I'm allergic to this basement. Who knows? Okay, so let's get some measurements on here. The center part is where I start and where I would advise you to start. Now, you can see I've got this broken necklace here. I've got this piece of wrapped beaded chain that's very delicate, kind of blends in. I've got this piece with the beads, this is Korean chain, and you can still get chain like this, and I've been checking it out. It is so freaking expensive. I don't know if I'm ever going to have any to sell. I mean, it's just, even if you import it, you think, oh, wow, everything from the Orient's cheap. No, it's not. No, it's not. And did you know that the best chain you can buy comes from Korea? Oh, yeah, it's true. There are only a few U.S. chain makers left, and I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. Haven't been for a long time. Ever since Providence chain went out, I think the good ones are all gone. And they went out a long time ago. That's my opinion. That's all I got to say about that. This is another piece of Korean chain, rather wonderful stuff. Brass, dark brass, love it. Handmade chain. Just scraps. I think they're around 18 inches long. Let's measure them. Huh, wrong side. It would help it if we did it. Okay, so now I do have these twists, and you probably noticed that. So I would say roughly you're going to want about 16 to 18 inches of chain, because you see I've got this all twisted up here. So that will give you a little bit of room to do that, to twist it. You could do a little less, if you only have 16 inches of chain, you'll be fine. If you have 18, you're finer. You're even better. So then what you'll do is you'll get yourself a nice 8mm jump for your ends, and then you'll just thread them on there. This piece here, I see I threaded it up higher. And you can do that, you can like take your first one and thread it on, and then maybe take your next one and thread it high. You can take another one. Okay, you can see I threaded this necklace piece. That was a 1928 necklace, and I threaded it onto one of the pieces of chain. I threaded it onto this wonderful Korean pearl chain here, and then I attached it to the elongated pierced bead chain up here. And that's fine, because that makes it the tangled, messy look. I love the centerpiece to look like it's a bunch of tangled up chain. But actually, if you twist it artfully, it lays beautifully when you put it on. And that's just it. So you just get it all hooked up, and you just kind of twist it when you put it on. And also too, once you get it all hooked together, before you put it on, I tend to like to twist a little bit. Now you have to be careful you don't get it bound up, because you want your pendant to hang. Now you don't have to have a pendant on there. I just kind of like the idea of a pendant, but you can just do chain. You could do more chain than that. You could do several lengths. Like for example, this would be cool. You could do these lengths and then do a longer one and a longer one. You make a big old bib with that. Or you could do several pendants layered. You could do this one, and then you could do another one here with pendants, hanging down. You could put pendants up in here, little tiny ones, or little beads hanging down. I mean, it's just up to you. I mean, the sky's the limit. This is just kind of like, this tutorial is just kind of like a template, basically, to get you going, to give you ideas, show you how I did this one. But this is, honestly, this is just basic. There's just so many ways to go. Okay, so now you've got that. So that basically is just your centerpiece or your front piece, what people see when you're wearing it, the main attention getter at the top. That's what you see. So now you have to go on from there. So then I used to like, I like to get a couple of pieces that match up. So I used this chain, and this again is some Korean chain that was an overrun that I just had snips of. Actually, I think this chain was really special and came from the design room over at 1928. Mr. Burney was cleaning out some scraps over there, and he let me get them. So that's kind of special because there aren't too many designers over there now. Okay, so I used 5.5 inches of chain on each end. So I needed, roughly 11 inches of chain total. So I just took that, 11, 12 inches of chain, broke it in half, hooked each on each end, okay? And that gave me this much. Is that all in the frame, Javi? Probably not. I better look over here because she's got the screen up. I can see where I'm at. There. I hope you can see. So you've got 16 to 18 here inches. I have 4 chains twisted. Then basically another 12, 6 this side, 6 this side, or 5.5 each side, okay? So now you got to go on from there. Now what I like to do is I always like, when I make jewelry, I always like some little asymmetrical or unexpected element off to one side. I do that frequently. So in this case, I did a little kind of a chain tassel of sorts off to the one side, and I just hooked it to the jump ring here where I attached the next bit of chain. And it's just some very delicate, rosary type chain, beaded chain here. Just, a really great way to use up some fine, delicate scraps that you have. And you can make your own fine, delicate beaded chain too. Why not? Save money. Don't spend. Make your own. You can. It takes more time, and time's money too, so you have to consider that. But if what you have is time, then do it. Why not? Right? Sure. So to tell you how long I went with this, let's just get out the ruler again and have a look. Okie dokie. The longest piece here is 3.5 inches, and the next piece is just shy of 3, and the other one's probably about 2.5. I like to stagger them, okay? And then they're just, threaded onto a jump and then hooked to right here. And so then you probably saw it when I had it on. If not, there's a picture for you to look at later that we took. And you can see, how it just kind of hangs kind of casually off to the one side. Okay, so now what did we do about the next piece? All righty. Well, I'm going to pull this over to this side so you can see. Is it in the, yeah, it's in the picture. Okay, these two pieces are pretty much the same. I use the Stardust bead chain. If you look hard, you'll find some of it out there. This stuff is exceptional. And it's Korean too. And I think, you know what, I think this came from the design room too. Because I remember he said to me, don't fall in love with this because there isn't anymore. Oh, yeah. Well, that's, sometimes that's good. Because it makes whatever you do unique. That's why finding a little bit of broken this and that to repurpose is an okay thing. I like to use some new things. I don't like to just go around and find all broken things and see how to put them together. Some people do. I think there should be a balance of things in order to achieve a good look. For example, even though this was broken, it was new. This is also new. I just happened to come upon it. This is new. So anyway, so to get you the measurement on this, it is about 8 inches. So all told, you need 16 inches of that and a half. So 16 inches here, 12 inches of this, and then you need 4 16 to 18 inch lengths for your centerpiece. It's a good bit of chain, guys. Whether it's broken stuff, repurposed stuff, or new stuff, you're going to have a lot of chain into this. So whatever you make it a lariat like this, be sure that you cost it out right if you're making it to sell. A piece like this is not going to be cheap. Don't sell yourself short. If you use good chain, charge enough for the piece, and then do a good sell job. Explain to people why it costs what it costs, and don't give your stuff away. Artisan jewelry is really special stuff. It's made by hand and from your heart. Okay, so you've got, again, to repeat that, 4 lengths here, 16 to 18 inches, and then total is 12 inches that you've split in half, and then 16 inches you've split in half. And then whatever you want to put on your ends. Okay? I love these. We don't have a lot of these. Let's see, am I turning it the wrong way? This way, Grace. Yeah. Let's turn it this way.
No, just turn it
the other way. Okay. She fixes that whenever she does the editing. We only have like 22 of these, and I don't know if I can get more. We have Grace, Beauty, Mom, Sister, and Grandma. They're pretty sweet. Okay, so just showing you again how this goes on. You know, you got to make sure this lays right. When you put it on, make sure that the pendant is facing outward. Pull it up. Pull this around. And I love the mixed metals. The mixed metals give you so much freedom, guys, because then this way you don't have to worry about, you know, everything being all matchy-matchy. I mean, if you want it matchy-matchy, then you save the stuff up until you got the matchy-matchy stuff to use. But I love, I mean, it just makes it more trashy. It just makes it more trashy when you use stuff that doesn't match. And then the reason I put the little lobster here, now you can, you know, flip it over, you know, all that, but then you have to worry about, is it going to hang right? Like, look, see what happened? It wants to go hang the wrong way. And then you've got all this frustration. Oh, did I put it on the wrong way? Is it going the wrong way? And then you go, no, it's on the right way. And then you go to put it on, it's flipping the other way anyhow. And it's just inexplicable, drives you nuts. You know what? Make it easy on yourself. Use a little lobster. Go ahead, and then you can take it and you connect it close to the bottom. Just connect it through one of the loops. Even you can just even connect it, like I put these little pearl things hanging off it. That's kind of a Bisou thing, in case you haven't noticed it. I do this a lot. Like I take advantage. If I've got a little space, I usually put a couple of these little check beads hanging. You go to my website, look at my jewelry there. You'll see I do it a lot. So now it's there. And oh, here was another thing. Okay, so I've got that sitting there, but I don't want this sitting there in such a way that it's going to scratch that lens. Because what good is it? Another thing, if you do something with a magnifying glass, whether it's one of the 1928 ones that you take and do something else with, or whether it's one that you make yourself, what you want to keep in mind is you need to allow enough play so that you can use it. The way this is when I wear it, it's long enough that I've got enough chain that I can pull this up and stick something under it and magnify something with it and use it. Say that I went out to eat and I couldn't read the menu, I could stick the menu under there and be able to see something. If I needed to magnify something, I would be able to. So, you know, a magnifying glass is a beautiful ornament, but it's also a useful thing. And so when you design using one, you want to make sure that you have enough play in the chain to be able to put it to work, because it's a useful thing. Okay, guys, I think I've covered everything, your measurements and the tips and little things that you need to look out for. It's really pretty simple. It's a lot of, play with it till you get it right. And the more of them that you make, the more you get used to how one component or one type of chain works with another one. And you'll just get faster and faster at it, and you'll just go to town, and before you know it, you'll just have made all kinds of jewelry, and it's all going to look fantastic, and you're just going to feel so good and so accomplished, and you're going to be such a fantastic jewelry maker, and everybody's just going to love your trashy jewelry. So I hope you go and have a good time making some. I have a whole bunch of stuff laid out. I'm going to make some more myself, and I can't wait to get back to you next time. I don't know what we're going to do next time yet. I told Javi it's her turn now. She hasn't made a video for a while. You know, she is so good at this. She can do video. I could just say, okay, what's your project? She shows me. I approve it. She goes and makes a video, and that's it. I don't have to do anything. I love that. Okay, guys. Happy Friday to you. Happy weekend. Go get creative and make something beautiful. And you know you can, because you're a beautiful person. Bye-bye now.